The rain hammered against the window like it was trying to break in, mirroring the storm raging inside me as Jake's body heat seeped through the thin sheet between us. I froze, heart slamming against my ribs, when his arm draped over my waist heavy. Deliberate. No accident this time. In that electric silence, with his breath warm on my neck, every lie we'd told ourselves shattered like glass underfoot. Bennett Hayes had always been the careful one. 22 years old, buried in psych textbooks at UCLA. I'd built walls higher than the Hollywood sign to keep my world tidy. Gay in a sea of straight bros. I dated quietly when I could, but mostly I just survived laughing at their crude jokes, nodding through their conquest stories, all while my chest ached with what I couldn't say. Jake Riley crashed into my life sophomore year. A transfer from some podunk town in Ohio. All broad shoulders and easy grins. The kind of guy who made the room brighter without trying. We got the dorm lottery right, same major, same late-night study habits, same aversion to drama. Or so I thought. He was straight as an Arrow Girls on speed dial. Stories of hookups that left me equal parts jealous and numb. I'd catch myself staring too long at the way his muscles flexed when he tossed a football in the quad, or how his laugh crinkled the corners of his eyes. But I buried it deep. Told myself it was harmless crush fuel. We were roommates. Best friends even. That's all it could be. Until that night in early fall, when the campus power flickered out from the storm, and everything changed. It started innocently enough. Or as innocent as these things get when you're young and stupid with feelings. We'd been cramming for midterms. Pizza boxes strewn across the floor like casualties of war. Jake sprawled on his bed, shirt off because it's too damn hot. Sweat glistening on his chest from the humidity that clung to LA like a bad habit. I tried not to look, focusing on my laptop screen until my eyes burned. Ben, man. You ever feel like you're just going through the motions? He asked out of nowhere, voice low, staring at the ceiling fan whirring lazily above. I glanced up, caught off guard. What do you mean? He shrugged, those powerful shoulders rolling like waves. Life's the script. You know, play sports, chase girls, graduate, get the job. But sometimes, I don't know, feels off. His eyes met mine then, holding a beat too long, and my stomach flipped. I mumbled something about burnout, changed the subject to the Dodgers game. But that seed was planted, burrowing under my skin. The storm hit around midnight, thunder rattling the windows like God's own temper tantrum. Lights flickered, died, plunging us into darkness broken only by my phone's glow. Shit, Jake muttered, fumbling for candles we'd stashed after last year's blackout. We lit them, the flames dancing shadows across his face, making him look haunted. Beautiful. We talked, then really talked for hours. About his dad back in Ohio. The ex-Marine who expected Jake to be the perfect son. No room for weakness. About my mom in Seattle, who hugged me tight when I came out at 16 but whispered prayers for my lost soul every night. Vulnerability hung thick in the air, binding us closer than any bro code ever could. When the candles guttered low, Jake yawned, stretched, and without a word, crossed the room. His mattress creaked empty as he slid under my covers, the bed dipping under his weight. Yours is comfier, he joked, but his voice cracked, and he didn't pull away. I lay there, rigid, pulse thundering in my ears. His leg brushed mine accidental. No, it lingered. Then his arm, heavy across my hip, fingers splaying just enough to send fire through my veins. Jake, I whispered, barely audible over the rain. He didn't answer with words. Instead, his face nuzzled into my shoulder, lips grazing my skin in a way that was anything but platonic. My breath hitched. Every nerve screaming yes, while my brain yelled run. This was Jake Straight. Jake would once punched a guy for calling me a slur after too many beers at a party. The guy who'd high-fived me through breakups with girls I wished were him. And now, here he was, crawling into my bed like it was the most natural thing. Like he'd been waiting for the world to go dark so he could finally admit it. I turned slowly, our faces inches apart in the gloom. His eyes, those damn blue eyes, searched mine. Fear, hunger, truth all tangled up. Ben, he breathed. And it was a plea, a confession. My hand found his cheek, rough with stubble, and he leaned into it like a man dying of thirst. Our lips met, tentative at first, soft and questioning, then crashing like the storm outside. Salt and rain and years of unspoken one exploded between us. His hands roaming my back, pulling me flush against him. It was messy, desperate teeth clashing, breaths ragged, but God, it was real. We broke apart gasping, foreheads pressed together. What the hell are we doing? I murmured, half laughing, half terrified. Stopping the pretending, he said simply, voice rough with emotion. And just like that, the arrow bent. Morning came too soon, sunlight slicing through the blinds like Judgment Day. I woke to Jake's arms still slung over me, his chest rising and falling in steady rhythm. Panic hit like a freight train. What now? Was this a one-night fluke? Alcohol-fueled, even though we hadn't touched a drop. I slipped out carefully, heart pounding as I padded to the bathroom, splashing cold water on my face. Mira Bennett stared back, lips swollen, eyes wild. 22 and finally alive. But at what cost? He stirred when I returned, sitting up with that sleepy grin that usually melted me from afar. Now it felt dangerous. Morning, he said, voice husky, no regret in sight. But his eyes darted to the door, like he was mapping escape routes. Hey. I sat on the edge of the bed, world tilting. Last night wasn't a mistake. He reached for my hand, lacing our fingers like it was easy, like we'd done this 1,000 times. But tension coiled in his shoulders, the straight boy armor cracking but not gone. I've been fighting it for months, Ben. Since that stupid road trip to Big Sur. When you laughed at my shitty karaoke and I realized I didn't want anyone else hearing it. My throat tightened. The road trip 2 months ago. Just us. Blasting Springsteen on the Pacific Coast Highway. Windows down. Wind whipping our hair. I'd teased him mercilessly about his off-key Born to Run. But inside, it was everything. Why didn't you say anything? Fear. Man. My whole life's been about being the good son. The team captain. The guy who doesn't question shit. He swallowed hard, thumb tracing circles on my palm. But you're the only one who sees me. Not the act. We kissed again. Slower this time. Savoring the dawn light. It felt like stealing time. Like the universe might snatch it back any second. Class's loom psych lecture at 9. His econ seminar, but neither of us moved. Instead, we talked logistics and whispers. Keep it quiet for now. Test the waters. No labels yet. Just us against the world. But the world has a way of intruding. Lunch in the cafeteria. And there was Tyler, Jake's old high school buddy from Ohio. Clapping him on the back too hard. Riley. Heard you bagged that sorority chick last weekend. Legend. Jake's face went blank. Mine burned. He laughed it off. But I saw the flinch. The way his eyes sought mine across the table. Apologetic. That night, doubt crept in. We cooked spaghetti, his mom's recipe. Heavy on the garlic, and ate cross-legged on the floor. Candles flickering again, because why not romanticize the mundane? Midway through, he set his fork down. Ben, what if I screw this up? What if I'm not? Enough. The vulnerability hit me square in the chest. This was Jake, the unbreakable one, cracking open. I pulled him close, our knees knocking. You're everything. We're figuring it out together. But figuring it out meant navigating minefields. A week later, at the campus Queer Alliance Mixer Me monthly escapee showed up uninvited, hands shoved in pockets, looking like a lost puppy in a sea of rainbow flags. Heads turned. Whispers followed. That's Riley. Right. The jock. I introduced him as a friend, but his arm brushed mine possessively, and Sarah from the group shot me a knowing grin. We slipped out early, hearts racing, and ended up on the rooftop of our dorm. City lights sprawling below like a promise. LA hummed car horns. Distant laughter, and for a moment, it felt invincible. He kissed me there, under the stars, hands cupping my face like I was fragile. I love you, he murmured against my lips, the words slipping out unplanned. I pulled back, stunned. Jake. Don't freak. It's true. Has been for a while. His grin was sheepish, but his eyes burned with certainty. I love you too, I said, and it was the easiest truth I'd ever spoken. We made love that night, slow and reverent, learning each other's bodies like sacred maps. No rushing, no pretending, just skin on skin, breaths mingling, the world fading to nothing but us. But secrets have sharp edges. 2 weeks in, and the cracks showed. Jake's phone buzzed constantly, texts from Tyler, invites to frat parties where the girls are wild. He'd go, come back smelling of beer and regret, collapsing into my arms with apologies. It's habit. Ben, I don't want them. I want this. I believed him, but jealousy gnawed. Then came the call from Ohio, his dad, voice booming through the speaker on speakerphone while I pretended to study in the corner. Son, that job interview in Cleveland didn't blow it. And hey, met any nice girls yet? Time to settle down. Jake's face drained of color, lies tumbling out smooth as silk. Yeah, Dad. Plenty. He hung up, slammed his fist into the wall dent in the drywall. Blood on his knuckles. I bandaged him silently, the room thick with unspoken fears. What are we doing? Jake. Hiding forever. He winced. Not from the peroxide. I don't know. But I can't lose you. The turning point came midterms week. Stress levels stratospheric. We'd barely slept, tangled in sheets that smelled of us, when Tyler burst an unannounced key from Jake's carelessness. Froze in the doorway, eyes wide at the sight, me straddling Jake. Lips locked, hands everywhere. Time stopped. Tyler's face twisted shock. Disgust. Betrayal. What the fuck? Riley. Jake shoved me off gently, standing like a shield. Ty. It's not. Not what? You're a fag now. The word landed like a gut punch, echoing my worst nightmares. Get out. Jake growled, voice steel. Tyler laughed bitter, spat on the floor, stormed out. Doors slammed. Silence deafened. I curled into myself, tears hot. See, this is what happens. Jake knelt, pulling me up. No, that's him, not us. But doubt shadowed his eyes. The first real fracture. The fallout rippled. Rumors flew, whispers in the halls. Side eyes in class. Tyler texted Jake nonstop, threats to tell his dad. Slurs that made my stomach churn. Jake blocked him, but the damage festered. He pulled away nights on the couch. Excuses about needing space. I gave it, but it hollowed me out. Echoes of old heartbreaks. One night, after a brutal lecture on Freud and repression, I confronted him. Rain lashed the windows again. Poetic justice. Talk to me, Jake, or this ends. He paced, fists clenched. I'm scared. Okay. Scared I'll disappoint everyone. Dad. The team. You. What if I can't be who you need? I stepped close. Voice breaking. I need you, the real you. Not some straight guy facade. He stopped. Eyes glistening. I want that. God. I do. Then he was on me. Kiss fierce. Apologies in every touch. We fell together, reclaiming what we'd almost lost. Bodies moving in sync with the storm's rhythm. Dawn brought clarity we couldn't hide forever. We came out to our friends. First, Sarah hugged us tight. The alliance through an impromptu toast. Jake's hand in mine felt like armor. But the real test loomed. Thanksgiving break. He had to face his family. The flight to Ohio was tense. His knee bouncing the whole way. What if they hate me? He whispered as we deplaned. Snow dusting the tarmac like fragile peace. Then we leave. Together. His childhood home was a brick fortress in suburbia, flags waving. Cross on the wall. Dinner was a minefield, turkey carved with precision. Questions lobbed like grenades. So, Bennett, you and Jake thick as thieves? His mom asked. Smile warm but probing. Best friends. I said. Under the table, our pinkies linked. Dad grunted approval over pie. Good. A man needs solid company. Jake's grip tightened. Knuckles white. Later. In his old room, posters of quarterbacks. Trophies gleaming broke. Can't do it. Ben. Not yet. I held him as he sobbed. The boy who'd hidden too long. You will. When you're ready. We flew back changed. Bond forged in fire. Campus buzzed with holiday cheer. But our world narrowed to Ustalin kisses in the library stacks. Late-night drives to Griffith Observatory. Stars witnessing our vows. Winter quarter brought new storms. Jake joined the alliance. Tentative at first. Then fierce speaking on panels about straight privilege. Earning wary respect from skeptics. I watched him bloom. Pride swelling my chest. But Tyler hadn't vanished. He lurked. Posting cryptic shit on socials. Tagging Jake in memes that twisted the knife. The confrontation came at a house party bass thumping. Bodies packed. Tyler cornered us in the kitchen. Breath sour with whiskey. Thought you'd gone full rainbow. Riley. Pathetic. Jake stepped forward. Chin up. Yeah. I am. Gay as hell. And if you got a problem, deal with it. Tyler swung fist glancing Jake's jaw, but Jake didn't flinch. Just stared him down. We're done. Ty. For good. Security hauled him out. We left to cheers. Jake's split lip tasting of copper and victory. In the car. He laughed through the pain. That felt good. Back home. We patched him up. Kisses turning heated. Celebration in every graze. Proud of you. I whispered. Tracing his bruise. Winter melted to spring. And with it, our fears. Jake called his dad, voice steady. Words halting at first. Then flowing. Dad. I'm gay. Have been. And I love Bennett. Silence stretched. Then a gruff. We'll talk when you're home. Son. Not acceptance. But a door cracked open. Graduation loomed. Caps and gowns a blur. We walked the stage together. His hand brushing mine under robes. Post-ceremony. Family mingled, mind beaming. His tentative but present. Dad shook my hand. Eyes soft. Take care of him. We drove north that summer. Big Sur calling like fate. Same highway. Same songs. But now his hand on my thigh. No hiding. At the overlook. Waves crashing below. He dropped to one knee, not a ring. Just a promise. Marry me. Someday. When the world's ready. Tears blurred the ocean. Yes. Always. Years later. In our San Francisco apartment train pattering like that first night, Jake's arm still drapes over me in sleep. We've fought, healed, grown. His dad's at therapy, inching toward understanding. Mine sends pride flags for every holiday. Life's no fairy tale bills stack. Doubts whisper but in the quiet. When he pulls me close and whispers mine. I know, love isn't straight lines. It's the beautiful bend. The courage to crawl into the unknown. And we never stopped. The summer after graduation hit like a heat wave. Sticky and unrelenting. Mirroring the sweat on our brows as we hauled boxes into our first real apartment off Haight Street. San Francisco's fog rolled in each evening like a cool blanket. But it couldn't touch the fire we'd ignited back in that dorm. Jake Riley, 23 now and freshly minted with a business degree, grinned through the grunt work. Muscles straining under a tank top that clung in all the right ways. This is it. Been our empire. He teased, stacking books on shelves that wobbled like our nerves. I laughed. But inside, excitement tangled with terror. Bennett Hayes, psych grad scraping by on barista shifts while chasing a master's in counseling. Had never pictured this. Keys to a one-bedroom with creaky floors and a view of the bay on clear days. No more hiding behind roommate labels. No more stolen moments. This was us. Out and proud. Or at least trying to be. Our first night. We christened the place with takeout dim sum and a bottle of cheap Cabernet. Sprawled on a thrift store rug that smelled faintly of someone else's life. Jake's head in my lap. Fingers tracing lazy patterns on my thigh. Remember that blackout? He murmured. Eyes distant with memory. How could I forget? You basically assaulted my bed. I ruffled his hair. Now grown out a bit. Curling at the nape. He chuckled. Low and warm. Best decision ever. His gaze turned serious. Pulling me down for a kiss that tasted of soy sauce and forever. We made love on that rug. Slow and unhurried. The city humming outside like applause. But reality crept in with the dawn job haunts. Friend drama. The grind. Jake landed a gig at a startup downtown. Crunching numbers for ecotech. While I slung lattes at a Castro cafe, buzzing with rainbow everything. It was liberating. Flirting with cute regulars under Jake's approving texts. But echoes of doubt lingered. You ever miss the straight life? I asked one night. Over leftover pad thai. Vulnerability slipping out unbidden. He paused. Fork midway. Missed the lies. Hell no. But his jaw tightened. And I wondered if Ohio still whispered in his dreams. The first real test came via email, his 10-year high school reunion invite. Cleveland in August. He read aloud. Tone flat. Tyler, RSVP'd yes. The name hung like smoke. Acrid and choking. My stomach nodded. Tyler, the betrayal. The punch. The poison that had nearly undone us. You going? Jake's eyes met mine. Conflicted. Part of me wants to show up. Hand in hand. Rub it in. But the other part. Scared it'll drag us back. We debated for days. Pros and cons like a therapy session. Ultimately, he went solo, closure for me. Not us, and I stayed. Pacing the apartment. Phone glued to hand. Calls came sporadic, airport small talk. Awkward hugs from old flames. Then, midway through the reception, a text, Tyler's here. Cornered me. Said he's sorry. Drunk. But real. I replied, you okay? Yeah. Told him we're good. As long as he stays gone. Relief flooded. But so did unease. When he flew back. Tanned and tired. He collapsed into my arms at SFO. Missed you. He breathed, burying his face in my neck. That night, he spilled it all Tyler's slurred apology. The crowd stares. His own speech to the mic, found my person. Didn't see it coming, but wouldn't trade it. Cheers mixed with murmurs. But he stood tall. Pride swelled. But so did the weight. "You're brave," I said, kissing his temple. "Nah, just in love." His grin chased shadows away. Fall brought Change Me Master's program started. Nights buried in case studies on identity and resilience. Jake climbed at work. Late hours turning him into a zombie. But he'd stumble in, drop his bag, and pull me onto the couch for debriefs that always ended tangled. Sex was our language now, fluent in need and reassurance. Then, the call that upended everything, his mom. Voice trembling. "Jake, honey, your father's sick. Prostate. Not great odds." The words landed soft, but they detonated. We booked flights immediately, the Midwest pulling us back like gravity. Cleveland Airport felt colder than memory. Snow flurries whipping as we rented a car. Jake's grip on the wheel was white-knuckled. Silence thick. What if he hates me more now? Like, this is karma or some shit. I squeezed his thigh. "He's your dad." Blood's thicker than bias. The house looked smaller. Faded lawn mowed precise. But curtains drawn like secrets. Mom hugged us fierce. Tears streaking her mascara. "He's resting. Been asking about you boys." Dad lay propped in the recliner. Gone under a quilt. Chemo's toll etched in hollow cheeks. Jake's eyes flicked to our joined hands. Tension crackled. "Bennett," he rasped, nodding. "Good to see you." "Sir." I released Jake's hand, giving space. Heart pounding. They talked halting sports. Weather. Work. Then, inevitable, heard about. Things. Dad's gaze hardened, but softened quick. Cough racking him. "Life's short. Son. Shorter now." Jake knelt, voice breaking. "Dad. I love him." Dad jerked his chin at me. "I see it. Was blind before. Sorry, don't fix it. But try." It was an absolution, but a bridge. We stayed 2 weeks, nursing through treatments. Meals a ritual of forced normalcy. Nights. Jake and I shared the childhood twin bed. Whispers weaving plans for the future. "When he beats this," Jake vowed, "we'll bring him to Frisco. Show him our life." But illness doesn't bend to vows. Dad rallied. Then faded hospice in March. Cherry blossoms mocking the gray. We flew back. Jake's hand in mine through the vigil. Last words, proud. "Son. Both of you." He slipped away at dawn. Room bathed in light. Funeral was a blur, black suits. Condolences like weights. Tyler showed. Head bowed. No words but a nod. Jake grieved raw. Punching bags at the gym till his hands bled. Then coming home to me. Collapsing in sobs that shook us both. I held him through it. Our love the anchor. Spring thawed the ice. We scattered ashes at Lake Erie. Wind carrying him home. Back in SF. Jake threw himself into a Foundation Riley resilience. Scholarships for queer kids from conservative towns. Dad would have hated it at first. He said at the launch party. Mic in hand. Me at his side. But he'd come around. Crowd applauded. I beamed. Chest full. That night. Rooftop under stars. He pulled a box from his pocket simple band. Silver with engraving, bent but unbroken. Marry me. Ben. For real. Knees hit pavement. Rings sliding on like destiny. Yes. I choked, pulling him up into a kiss that sealed it. Wedding was small June. City Hall steps. Sarah officiating in a fabulous hat. Vows echoed our journey. I promised to crawl into your bed every night. No pretending. Laughter rippled. Tears flowed. Years blurred me practice thriving. Counseling kids like we'd been. Jake's startup booming. Green tech saving the planet one panel at a time. Fights came over chores. Over fears of growing stale, but makeup sex was legendary. Reaffirming what we'd built. One anniversary. Back in that dorm rented for nostalgia, crawled into my bed again. Grin wicked. Deja vu. Always. We laughed. Loved. Lived. In the end. Love isn't the crawl, it's the staying. The bending without breaking. And we soared. No. Wait, that was too neat. Too soon. Life doesn't wrap in bows. It frays. Then mends stronger. Our second year in the apartment tested that truth hard. Jake's grief morphed into hyperdrive workaholic nights. Foundation meetings till midnight. Coming home hollow-eyed. Gotta honor him, he'd say. But I saw the ghost in his gaze. Dad's absence a hole no amount of doing could fill. I dove into my master's thesis on queer identity in conservative upbringings. Interviews pulling stories eerily like ours hidden loves. Family fractures. It bonded us deeper some days. Role-playing confessions over wine. Others. It unearthed landmines. You think I'm repressed? Jake snapped one evening. After I analyzed a case too close to home. That's not, I reached. But he flinched. Forget it. Door slammed. He crashed on the couch. I tossed sleepless, staring at cracks in the ceiling, wondering if we'd bent too far. Morning brought coffee and apologies as specialty, with pancakes charred just right. I'm an ass. Just. Miss the simplicity sometimes. We talked it out. Therapy speak flowing easy from my training. Grief's a bitch, I said. But we're not going back. Summer hit with a curveball. My ex, Marcus, emailed from New York. Heard you're with Jake. Happy for you. Visiting SF Coffee. Harmless. Right. Old flame from freshman year. Pre-Jake. Who'd ghosted after coming out drama. I mentioned it casual. Jake's face darkened. Why see him? Closure. Like your reunion. He paced. Fine. But I'm coming. Coffee turned awkward. Marcus, all smiles. Probing questions. Jake's arm draped possessive over my chair. So, you're out now? Marcus asked him. Damn right. Tension simmered. We left early. Jake's jealousy boiling over in the car. He still wants you. Ancient history. But doubt seeded it. That night exploded, accusations flying. You never fully let go. From him. And you cling to straight boy ghosts. From me. Words like knives. Drawing blood. He stormed out. I cried till dawn. He returned at sunrise. Flowers wilted from his grip. I fucked up. Insecure idiot. Kneeling. He bared it. Afraid you'll see I'm not enough, still half in the closet. I pulled him up. Kiss salty with tears. You're all. Always. We rebuilt. Stronger couples counseling. Date nights enforced. Fall leaves turned gold as we planned the wedding. Invites a mix of allies and skeptics. His aunt from Ohio RSVP'd no. My folks yes. With rainbow pins. Honeymoon in Big Sur cabin by the sea. Waves our lullaby. Days hiking redwoods. Nights tangled in flannel sheets. This is us. He whispered one dusk. Ring glinting as he traced my chest. Forever bent. Back home. Real life roared, my practice opened. First client a scared teen echoing young Jake. He aced sessions. Foundation grants pouring in. But shadows lingered. Tyler's random like. A news story on conversion camps that hit too close. Winter brought joy. Adoption papers for a rescue pup. Max. All wagging chaos. Our kid. Jake beamed. Wrestling him on the rug. Laughter filled the space. Healing cracks. Spring. A scare. Jake's chest pains. ER dash. Heart fine, but stress flagged. Slow down. I begged. He nodded. Changes sticking, yoga mornings. Unplugging evenings. Our love deepened. Roots intertwining. Anniversary 3, dinner cruise. Bay glittering. Toast, to the crawl that started it all. And in quiet moments, hand in hand, we knew, love's not perfect. It's the mess, the mend, the meaning we make. Actually, the pup brought levity, but undercurrents pulled. Max chewed Jake's sneakers, a metaphor for life's bites. Work stress, peaked me, client load swelled. A suicide attempt gutting me. Can't save them all. I confessed one night. Head on his lap. You save who you can. Like you saved me. His fingers in my hair. Steady. But saving meant sacrificing. Jake's foundation trip to declobbying for queer youth bills clashed with my conference. Go. He urged. Your voice matters. Airport goodbye kiss lingered. Promise of FaceTime. Alone. Doubts crept. Is this sustainable? Conference in Boston, panels on resilience. But nights lonely. Hotel bed cold. Text from Jake. Max misses you. I miss you more. Heart emoji chains. Return. He greeted with dinner. Candles. That grin. Missed my bent arrow. We dove in. Reconnection fierce. But DC had shifted him stories of kids like us. Fire in his belly. We're doing this. Ben. Changing shit. Pride that year, marching arm in arm. Signs high, love bends. Never breaks. Cheers roared. Tears pricked. Tyler spotted in the crowd. Filming. But Jake waved forgiveness. Not fear. Summer heat wave. We escaped to Tahoe cabin. Lake swims. Bonfires. Skinny dipping at midnight. Water cool on heated bodies. Marry me again. He joked. Floating close. Every day? Laughter echoed stars. Fall. Family visit me folks in Seattle. His mom in Cleveland. Blended awkward but warm. Potluck. Stories swapped. You boys glow. Mom said. Hugging tight. Thanksgiving, first as husbands. Table set for Furus. Sarah. Her partner. Toast to absent dads. Presents of love. Winter solstice, lights strung. Max in a sweater. Jake's gift, custom art. Our first dorm night, sketch tender. Mine, tickets to Ohio. Visit his roots renewed. New year, resolution more us. Less world. Travel dreams. Therapy check-ins. But life twists. Jake's promotion meant relocation talk Seattle offer. Closer to my family. What do you think? He asked. Map spread. Adventure. Fear and thrill mixed. Decision pending. We leaned in love's the constant. Ben's be damned. The relocation debate stretched weeks. Pros cons listed like battle plans. Seattle, rain like LA storms. My folks nearby. His foundation branch potential. SF, our roots. Community pulse. Home's where you are. I said finally. Over coffee on the fire escape. Agreed. He kissed my knuckles. Stay put. Build here. Relief. Then Action House hunt in the mission. Fixer-upper with garden for Max. Closing day, keys in hand. Champagne popped on porch. Our bend. Jake toasted. Renovations chaos, paint splatters. Hammer fights over shelves. Straight. No. Crookeds us. Laughter through sweat. First house party, friends crammed. Music thumping. Tyler showed invited by Sarah. Olive branch. Awkward beer. Then talk, sorry. Man. Was scared too. Jake clapped his shoulder. Water under. Pride in the house, rainbow flags waving. Block party vibe. A kid from my practice spotted us. Eyes wide. You live here. Cool. Welcome anytime. Handshake sealed. Fall deepen leaves crunch. My thesis defended. Jake's speech at gala. From closet to Congress. He quipped. Crowd roaring. Winter wonder, tree trimming. Ornaments from travels. Gift exchange, his. Leather journal for my writings. Mine. Vintage Springsteen vinyl. Holiday to Cleveland, Mom's house. Full table. Dad's photo watched. Approving. He'd like this, she said, squeezing hands. New Year snowed in, board games. Cocoa. Slow love by fire. Spring bloom, garden planted tomatoes. Basil. Hope. Client success, teen coming out to family. Thanks to our sessions. Summer road trip, cross country. Route 66 reverse. Stops at diners. Motels. Memories made. Grand Canyon dawn, infinite. Like us. Back. Routine richer. Anniversary 5, vow renewal. Beach at sunset. Still crawling. I teased. Every night. Seal with salt-kissed lips. Life spins taut, straight paths bore. Hours. Winding. Wondrous. Time accelerates in the rear view. Years blurring like highway lines. By 30, we'd settled into rhythmsm with a full practice. Walls lined with thank you cards from kids who'd found their truth. Jake heading the foundation. TED Talk under his belt. Voice booming on podcasts about bending norms. The house thrived. Garden bountiful. Max gray-muzzled but spry. But bins bring branches. Jake's wanderlust stirred, let's foster. He proposed over breakfast. Eyes alight. Give a kid what we didn't have. Heart swelled. But fear nipped. Ready for that chaos. Together. Yeah. Paperwork mountain. Home studies reliving our story for social workers. Came out in college. Jake shared. Hand in mine. Found each other in the dark. Approval came swift. First placement, Mia. 12. Wary eyes from Foster Shuffle. She arrived with backpack and walls. Testing us sneaking out. Sass sharp. Nights. Jake and I tag team talks. My counseling tools in play. You're safe. I'd say. He'd add. We got you. Breakthrough, movie night. Her laughing at Jake's impressions. Dork. She giggled. Leaning on me. Months in. Bio-mom's surface rehab done. Custody fight. Heartbreak loomed. Can't lose her. Jake whispered. Pacing kitchen. We won't fight if it's not right. But we did visits. Lawyers. Tears. Court day. Judge ruled reunification. Mia hugged fierce. Visit. Promise given. Empty nest echoed. But pride lingered. We did good. I said. Holding him. Round 2. Grin crooked. Next, brothers. Jamal and Kai. 8 and 10. From group home. Energy whirlwind soccer in yard. Bedtime stories triple. Jake coached Pee-wee. Me mediated squabbles. Holidays magic, tree lit. They're all pure. Permanency hearing, adopted. Family. Papers declared. Ours. Chaos joy, school runs. Parent nights. Jake's patience saintly. My empathy endless. Fights over discipline. But makeup stronger. Tyler's wedding invite straight. To a woman. But note, bring the husbands. Proud of you. We went. Ohio fields green. Reception dance, Jake spun me. Whispers mine. Back. Life fuller. Pride parade, boys on shoulders. Signs waving. Summer campout, tents. Stars. Esmore's tales. How'd you meet? Jamal asked. Dorm storm. Jake said. He stole my heart. Fall harvest, pumpkin patch. Costumes wild. Thanksgiving, table bursting. Toast long. Winter, snow day forts. Hot chalk mustaches. Spring, first crushes confessed. Our guidance gentle. Love who you love. Jake echoed. Anniversary 10, Vow Lake. Boys as ring bearers. Bent forever. Parenting bent us in new stretches. Snaps. Rebounds. But in their laughter, our crawl echoed, from pretend to profound. Adoption's honeymoon phased out. Reality's rough edges sharpened. Jamal hit teens first 14. Attitude spiking. Friends influencing bad. Why can't I go to the party? Slams. Glares. Jake's temper flared under my roof, echoing his dad's boom. I'd mediate. Talk. Don't yell. Nights. After tucks, we'd debrief exhausted. Am I him? Jake fretted. Dad's ghost heavy. No. You're better. Hugs turned desperate, reclaiming in quiet. Kai. Quieter. Struggled school bullies taunting, two dads weird. Tears at pickup. My heart fracturing. They're ignorant. I soothed, but inside raged. We rallied, school meetings. Ally training for teachers. Jake spoke at assembly. Families love. Not labels. Shift slow. But boys toughened. Jamal's first crush girl. Tentative date. How do I? Jake's advice awkward gold. Be you. We laugh later. Wine flowing. Parenting's improv. Summer crisis. Mia visited. Now teen. Mom relapsed. Can I stay? Eyes pleading. We said yes emergency placement. House full. Dynamics whirl. Sisters bickering. Brothers protective. Dinner chaos. Voices overlap. Plates clatter. But bonds wove. Mia tutoring Kai. Jamal sharing games. Jake's patience stretched. Mine too. Court again, Mom fought. But patterns proved. Guardianship are semi-permanent. Hope fragile. Fall storm. Jake's foundation scandal donor outed homophobic. Funds pulled. Everything crumbling. He vented. Pacing. Rebuild. I held firm. Crowdfund launched. Community surged our story viral. Support flooded. Winter low, Jamal caught shoplifting peer pressure. Fear of poverty shadow. Juvenile court. Community service. Sorry. Dads. Hugs tight. We leaned on therapy family sessions. Truths aired. We bend. Don't break. Jake said. Mantra born. Spring thaw. Kai's art show. Jamal's game win. Mia's grades soar. Pride float. Kids waving. Us beaming. Summer road trip. National parks. Lessons in vastness. World's big. Kai marveled. Room for us. Back. Stability settled. Tyler's family visited his kid. Our brood playing. Full circle. He toasted. Anniversary 12, beach bonfire. Kids roasting marshmallows. Vows whispered, through every bend. Parenthood's plot twists taught, love multiplies. Divides. Conquers. Our crawl. Now a marathon. Worth every step. Decade turned. Grays threading our hair 35. Lines etching laugh and cry. Boys grew, Jamal 16. Drivers permit terror. Kai 14. Poetry budding. Mia 15. Fierce activist. House pulsed life homework wars. Crushes confessed. Dreams voiced. Jake's foundation global now. Trips to conferences. Me tagging when caseload allowed. World needs this. He'd say post-talk. Jet-lagged but glowing. My practice specialized trauma in queer youth. Books brewing. Nights. We'd steal moments. Wine on deck. Stars witnesses. Still feel the spark. He'd ask. Hand on knee. Blazing. Kisses kindled fires.